Good morning, class. I hope that you're all doing okay. I hope that you are ready and excited to start your research for your summative assessment. So today I'm going to explain to you how you're going to do that. So like I explained last week on our Google Meet call, the first thing you need to do is choose your topic. So we've already talked about what those three empires were that you can choose from for your research paper, for your essay, which is what our summative assessment is. So the first thing you're going to do is choose your topic. So you'll come to this document here, and you will choose either the Byzantine Empire, the Babylonian Empire, or the Tang Dynasty. Each of these are three choices that we have. You can choose whichever one you want, and I have found some sources to help you get started. There is a mix of secondary sources and primary sources. So all of these links, they are secondary because they are websites, but some of the links, like the ones to museums, in them, they have the primary sources. So remember, not the links themselves, not the websites themselves. Those are not primary sources. But some of them, like let's say this website here, these things here, this piece of art or this piece of jewelry from that time, that is a primary source because it was made at the time. So keep that in mind. So first thing you'll do is you will choose your topic. Once you have done that, you will begin to complete your research. You'll use this template here to help you complete your research. When you click this document here, it takes you to this worksheet. We will be working on this worksheet today and Thursday, so you'll start it today and you'll finish and submit it on Thursday. The first thing you'll do is answer the one question, the empire I have chosen is the, and you write in the empire that you chose from the sheet. Then after that, you have to start answering the rest of the other four questions here. The first question is you have to identify examples of the characteristics of empires that we've learned about this unit in the empire that you chose. So that means I need you to choose 4 of these characteristics here, whichever 4 you want. You do not have to choose all 9, choose 4. And try to find the example of those, or an example of those in your empire. So, for example, let's say you chose the Tang Dynasty. You'll tell us what an established currency was, what money they used during the Tang Dynasty. You'll let us know the common language that they spoke, maybe a tax system they had, an example of one of their absolute monarchs, or possibly you find an example of when they conquered someone through the military. Okay, so this means you're going to choose 4 of these. Remember, you'll choose 4 and find an example of each one. Okay, so you can't just say the Tang Dynasty had an established currency. You have to say the established currency of the Tang Dynasty is, or was, the established currency of the Tang Dynasty was blank, whatever you found. Okay, and then after that, you'll put in your MLA citation for whatever source you use. So you would use these sources to help you figure out maybe what was the money used in the Tang Dynasty, or what was their common language, or an example of military conquest, or how they communicated or transported things. You would find an example using these links here, okay? And then you would, whichever link you used, you would write the MLA citation for that source, okay? So to do that, I'll show you once again this example of how to make a works cited page that we've done before. And I'm going to walk you through this again since some of you are still having problems creating correct citations. So you take your link, whatever link you went to, and you're going to go to this link here, okay? So whichever website you'll use to take it to this link here, you'll copy that link into this thing here, and then up will come the website. So then you'll select your website, and then going through there, it'll take you here. It'll say what they didn't find. You will continue to click, okay? This is not your, this is not the citation. Some of you copy and paste this. This is wrong. This is not your citation. You come here and you click create citation. Here, this is your citation. Then you would copy this and you'd bring it over to your template and you'd put it here. If that was the website that you used, you'd copy it right there, okay? But since that's not the website you use, we're not going to do that. But for each website you use, you'll put it here. There is an example of step-by-step how that works. This part here, this is what we're looking for. These are the citations we're looking for. If they don't look like this, they're not correct. All right. So moving on, after you answer this first question about examples of the 4 characteristics that you've chose, you have to identify a motive for the empire. So we learned about these 5: religious, economic, political, exploratory, or ethnocentric. You have to argue for one of these. So using all the information you did in your research, you are going to choose which one of these you think was the motivation for your empire. If you need a reminder of these, remember they're in the slideshow from the unit. And you have to find at least 2 examples to support your answers. So the examples can come from things like from leaders or events, patterns that you see, maybe laws, or the actions that people did. So you can find these, your evidence or your examples in a lot of different places. And the same thing again, you'll put in your MLA citation for that. After that, you'll answer another question, and it is, you have to identify a major historical event that was at the beginning and the end of your chosen empire. So you're thinking of something that happened in the rise of your empire. Maybe if we're thinking about the Ottomans, something that happened for the rise of the empire was maybe when Osman I created his Ottoman nation. And then after that, maybe when Mehmet the Conqueror took over Constantinople, right? So those things are major events. So you'd have to find something similar like that in your own empire, okay? And then explain why it was important. The same thing with the decline. If we're talking about the Ottomans, something that happened around the decline of the Ottomans would be World War I breaking out, right? That was a final end part to the Ottoman Empire, was losing World War I. And why was that harmful? Because of these reasons. You'll be looking for a similar major historical event for the empire that you chose, okay? Something at the beginning, something at the end. And again, you'll include your MLA citation for that source. You'll put it down here. Finally, after that, you have to identify 1 to 3 ways that the empire you chose had an impact or effect on the societies and cultures that came after them. So you have to think, how did this empire leave a lasting impact on the world? So what did the Ottomans do? What was their lasting impact on the world? 1, they helped to spread Islam. That was one thing that they did. What else did they do? Maybe they had specific customs or beliefs that people still follow. If we look now at the Balkans, many foods or drinks that we have here are also considered Turkish foods or drinks, right? That's something that the Ottomans helped to spread. And so that was a lasting impact that they had. Was there a powerful invention that they created, or how did their existence just change the world in general? So we have to think about these things and try to identify between 1 to 3 ways that your empire had an effect on societies and cultures that came after them. And again, you'll use MLA citations you'll put your MLA citations for each source you use to answer this question. I hope that this makes this easy for you. Please use these sources I found here, but also feel free to find others, but you must use reputable sources. This means you cannot use funhistoryfacts.net. You have to use things that are associated with museums, universities, encyclopedias, things that are reputable, which means they have a good reputation, and things that are trustworthy. On Thursday, we will have a Google Meet during our class period, and I'll be able to answer any questions that you have about this. But just do your best to answer all of your questions today, and then you can continue working on them on Thursday. One thing I want you to keep in mind is that our statement of inquiry for this unit is imperialist motives for power influence the development of societies and cultures. This means that the motivations for creating empires and gaining power has always had a direct impact on how societies and cultures develop and grow. So you need to really keep this in mind when doing your research. You try to use critical thinking skills to find links and connections between the things that you're learning in your articles or your sources and the world today. Email me if you have any questions. If not, I will talk to you on Thursday. Bye.